All right, everyone. Hello again. This is going to be a short video just about the tools you need to get everything installed. This is going to take a little bit of fiddling. This is sort of one of the great ironies that a bunch of people with computer science PhDs can't operate printers or projectors, and this is sort of a microcosm of that phenomenon where we're going to have to struggle to get all the software installed, even though it's really good software. So here we are. There are three things that you need for now. You need the programming language Coq. You need the editor Emacs and the mode proof general, which should download automatically when we use the init.el file that I provide for you. So I wanted to just show you the various bits and bobs there. So this is Coq. Coq is a programming language. It is a proof assistant because it lets you prove things about the programs you write in the programming language. The language itself is actually called Galena. It's sort of like a Frankenstein's monster kind of thing, where Galena is the language we'll be programming in, and Coq is the whole program that we'll be using. Now, if you go here, you'll just see this link up here that says Get Coq. That's what you want to do. You want to get the latest version 8.2.0, 8.12.0, excuse me. And you go here and this takes you to GitHub. Maybe you've heard of GitHub. This is like where open source software lives. Coq is open source software from France. Coq means rooster. It's a name. I mean, there's interesting things about the name where it's named after this guy Coquin and also the calculus of constructions. It's a cute name. So if you go here, you'll get the sort of the appropriate installer for your platform. If you're on Linux, your package manager will just find this for you, no problem. But if you're on Mac OS, you download the DMG, the image, and if you're on Windows, you download the right one. You almost certainly want x86-64 and not i6-86, which is some pretty old software at this point. Excuse me, hardware. Okay, so you download this, you install it. It's going to give you another editor called Coq IDE, which works fine, but it is going to not work well with our course as time goes on because it doesn't work as well with multiple files the way that we're doing it. So we're going to use a different editor. Emacs, I think, is really the way to go. This is, I think, the best way to interact with it. So you'll download and install Coq. You do all that. I've already got mine installed, so I'm not going to show that. And then you install Emacs. So I give different links. There's a link for Windows, which is just a zip file, and you install it, and then it does the right thing. And then there's a link for Mac OS X. So whatever it is, you download it. It's going to give you the thing. You install it in the applications thing in the usual way. No big deal. If you're on Linux, you may already have Emacs installed. Otherwise, just do whatever your distro says to install it. Okay. Lastly, you need to download this file. And you need to put it somewhere very particular. So if you're on Mac OS or on Linux, you put it in this folder, tilde.emacs.d. Tilde is your home directory. This may be all new to you. So let me pop open one of these bad boys. So if you go in the Finder, you have this directory /users/ whatever your username is. And if you're like me, you have a billion folders there. It's only showing you the visible ones. But if you open up the terminal, this is the expert's control hatch. This is how pros use their computers. What do we do? There's a bunch of different commands that work here. On Windows, it's a different thing that you can get this via something called WSL, the Windows Subsystem for Linux, which I recommend you figure out. There are tons of tutorials for how to do this online. I'm going to, for now, say you just take a look at it, but we'll see more commands as time goes on. The command ls shows you all of the files. The command ls-al pipe less says, show me all the files and then let me scroll through them. Now, if you look in here, there's a billion files, but there's these files .emacs and .emacs.d. That's where we're going to need to put this init.el file. So, long story short, you'll copy this. That's on Mac OS X. On Windows, you put it somewhere else. So I've given you the path down here. Right? This is telling Emacs where to set stuff up. So just copy this. You can use Command C to copy in Emacs for now. You copy, you paste. Oh, I missed the L on my copy. And then it'll say, okay, download it, put it in the right spot. Right. Figuring out how to do that is part of you learning how to use your computer. So if you have trouble with that, feel free to ask, but it's a thing that you need to learn more or less on your own. Okay. Once you get it all going, and you should be able to get your file, and you should be able to do something like this. Control-C, Control-Enter. If you've loaded up day01.v, right, which you can download from the course website. Right, you download this file, you click here, you save it somewhere. I'd say make a folder. You're going to want to keep everything in one folder. Save it. I would click Save It, put it somewhere where you know where it is, and then open it in Emacs. Now, you should then get this highlight John, this guy, after doing Control-C, Control-N. Or you go after this, you get Control-C, Control-Enter. This blue front is Coq saying, I have accepted your program thus far. And if that appears, it means you've gotten everything installed correctly. If not, what that means is that you need to go to Zulip, and you need to go to Tools, and you go to init.el issues or whatever, and like we'll work out the issues you have here. And it's really important that you go here and not email me so that other people can see whatever it is that we figure out, right? You might feel a little embarrassed or whatever to do it in public, but like don't even worry about it. Nobody knows how to use software. It's really just not that big of a deal. Okay. Once you have everything working, there are two things you need to do. You need to learn how to use Proof General, which is the thing that interacts with Cocking Emacs. But before that, you need to learn how to use Emacs itself. Emacs is old software. It is older than I am, and I was born in 1984. So the commands are just not entirely what you're used to. Helpfully, Emacs has a tutorial. I'm going to now type Control H T. Oops, I typed it twice. And now I'm going to open up my screen, and it says, this is the Emacs tutorial. And it's just going to walk you through, this is how you use Emacs. This is worth your time. I would say do this twice. Right? It's not that long. Shouldn't take you more than half an hour, and it will pay huge dividends in this course for you to actually know how to use the program that we're using. So put in the time. Like reading these instructions is really, really important. Okay, cool. All right, once you have that, then you should be good to go. You'll want to work through the course book and move on. In the next video, I'll actually start dealing with the actual material we'll be looking at. But for now, the key thing, the thing you want to make sure you do first is get your tools working. If you can show up in class on Monday with your tools working, we'll all have a much easier time. I know that we're going to spend some class time making sure everybody's set up, but the more set up you are, the easier it'll be, and the more useful class time will be. Okay, cool. I get that it's daunting. We'll figure it out. It's complicated. That's why we're studying computer science, though, is because computers are complicated and we want to make that better. All right, talk to you soon.